Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. We are continuing this series of practicing doing portrait studies. So, like I said before, it's very important to keep practicing. That's what the key is all about. You have to keep practicing and keep doing thousands of these kinds of portrait studies for you to really improve. So, here we have another wonderful model, and we're going to draw her right here. Okay, so like I was saying before, it's all about visualizing and looking at this picture and transferring this image over to this white space. How do you do it? You do it by first photographing the picture with your mind and then using your mind as a projector to project the image out. And let me explain, and I'm going to show you. I see her already like this, she's like this. The tilt of the head is right here. The eyes will be coming down this way, that'll be the line. You see how I'm doing? You can even see the shadow, the little shadow in the back. This is where I'm going to have that, and then the tilt coming down like that, the shoulder like so, and the hair right here. You see, I have an idea already. And now I'm going to draw the line. As you can see, watch me draw the line after I visualize it, okay? You see that? This is the forehead. I'm talking about this. I'm going to begin right here. You see that? This is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to start that right here. Let's say right there. And it's going to go up like this. And I visualize. You see how I'm looking at it? You see the line? I can even take the pencil off the paper and move it down because I know it's right there. I follow the line with my eyes before drawing it. And there, approximately, we're going to have to fix a lot of things, but there you go. Now I go here. I'm trying to get that. You see? And it's coming down like so. And just to get a little feel for where everything is. So it's going to help me actually, if I do this, it's going to help me sort of like, the more forms I put down, the more I can look for relationships between this and this and this and this and this and this and that kind of thing, okay? So there you go. I'm going to quickly lay this down right there. I think it's coming down here, like so, like that. Then I come back up here. And this is where I see the eyebrow is right about here. Okay. Right there is the eye. I'm going to go up here like this. Okay, and here is the eye. There. I'm always looking to make sure that it's like, as I start looking, as I draw these lines, right, I have more reference points to be able to look back and say, hey, this is not right, and that's right, and this is good, and that's not good. So I always constantly keep in mind what I'm looking at here and the way I did. So now let's see, the nose is here. Okay. Something like that, right? Always make sure that you're going to look back at this to see if it matches. And at this point, we are going to simply work with the broader shapes and the tilts and the angles. So we have a tilt, we have an angle, and we look for the likeness later. But at this point, we are more concerned about the basic distances between the eyes and the nose and the eyebrows. So the eyebrow is right here, right, the nose. So I'm going to judge the distance between this and this. You see the pyramid that comes right here like this, and there's a line that goes up here like this. And in fact, there's two lines. You can draw it straight down, so you're going to get a good feel that the tilt of the head is nice and balanced. And then you have the neck, and she has the shoulder right, like something like so, okay? So you see how I'm quickly laying down the basic tilt, the angle, and then I'm going to come back and then start attacking it with detail. And like I said before, it's very important to keep an eraser handy. You know, you constantly make errors, and that's what it's all about. It's about fixing the errors, guys. So keep in mind that you need to keep on practicing. It's very important to keep practicing and doing it. And I'll tell you something else, like doing this kind of work is extraordinarily beneficial. I'm not kidding. And you may wonder, I mean, some people think, oh my God, it's all about making money and everything. It is not. It's about the feeling that you get from completing a project, learning a skill. That's what it's all about, and it's priceless. Believe me, it's priceless, guys. Trust me, if you didn't make a single penny in the world, and you really improved with drawing, oh my God, I'm telling you, everybody's going to be very happy, including God. So please do this seriously when you do it, and certainly, um, you know, check my videos out, work with me. You know, we're going to do a lot of them. I'm going to be putting them out constantly. So once again, as you can see, right, I'm trying to get it as closely as possible. And this time, I'm looking for those outlines to match this particular lady that's up here in front of us, okay? So once again, the nose has to be fixed. The eye is not right. And so let me first lay in the details, and then we can look for, lay in the broader shapes, and then we can look for details later. So if you can take a look here, now I'm going to go and attack the eye. The eyes, I'm going to begin first of all to make a good judgment of the distance between the eyes, right? Because that's critical with the eyes. You don't want it to be too close or too far away. So I make that judgment, and once again, see the line with your eye, and then trace what you see. You see what I mean? That's a good way to like think about it. You are seeing the line with your eye, and then you're tracing what you see. And see, that's exactly what I'm doing right here. So I'm first seeing the line, and then once I visualize the line, I trace what I actually visualize up there, okay? And so once again, I'm never taking my eyes off of this. Constantly I'm referring back to this to see that it matches her. Because at the end of the day, we're looking for likeness, right? So there you go. That's getting a little bit closer. I'm getting a little bit happier with it, but not completely, because there's so many other faults with the nose, right? So those are the kind of judgments you're thinking about. So once again, now I go back to this. I'm looking for the angle of the eye. It's going to come down like this. And then and this is very important, that you have the eyeball looking at you. You see how she's looking there? You see that? That eyeball right there? You want that to match the direction that she's looking at, because it's going to change the entire expression if you don't get it right. So you want to pay attention to that. And then the distance, right, is another very important thing. You have to make sure that is the eyeball touching the lower part of the lower eyelid, or is it not? So in her case, it doesn't completely touch it, so it's right about there, but the eyes are a little bit bigger. So that's something we're going to come back and fix. Now we come to this eye, and we're going to try to match it as closely as possible to this one here, okay? So you see once again how it's off. I'm not happy with this. You always have an eraser handy, and you always have to fix and revise and double check, and so there you go. Now we go to this eye. Seems all right. I'm going to go back, double check that. And so one thing is, that's why it's very important to kind of use light lines first, but I'm trying to be bold up here because I'm demonstrating, and so there is that. Okay. And now the way the eye is actually framed, is it like these things, those are very important. We're going to come back to that in a minute, but at this point I want to get a feel for how this is, and then we'll make the judgments about likeness in a minute. But first I want to get an overall feel for how this is. There, that is that. And you have this. See, I'm looking for that direction. Is it coming? You see that this angle and this direction, right? You see how I'm reflecting this here and this on this paper. So anything I see up here, I have to see, make sure that it's on my. It reflects in my drawing. So there, that is, all right. And I'm just laying in a little bit of darks here and there to get that thing, because I'm still not happy with the nose. But everything is fixable. So once again, you want to be able to keep your eyes on the likeness, right? And always going back and double checking this and trying to match it with this. At this point, it's still, all right, so it's getting closer. So I see how I established all these. Here I'm once again making that very, this is very important. You see how the face is beginning to look like her as I touch the lower part of the lip, because that's where the error is apparently. Sometimes it's even hard to tell where I'm making the error, because I have to keep on working a little bit more to actually get to the spot of the what it is that's wrong with this picture, you know. So as I continue, there you go, I'm getting a little bit closer to her, right? I'm trying to make that judgment, but I'm trying to see how big this is. You see, if I just look at this, just like that, if I cover her face, right? And if I do this, I want to see this. This is what I'm looking for. That pump, pump, pump. You see that? And then how this is going down here like this, and there's all that on the side, but and also the distance, how far down does the hair fall, right? And then, right? And now, obviously, I think the error here is that the forehead has to be a little bit